5 dangerous breakfast foods you should never touch, and 5 you must eat. What if I told you that the single most important decision you make for your long-term health, the one that can either protect your mind or wear down your body, happens within the first 30 minutes of you waking up? It's your breakfast, and most of us are getting it dangerously wrong. A groundbreaking 2024 study from the Stanford Longevity Center followed over 12,000 adults over the age of 60 for a decade. The results were shocking. They found that individuals who consistently ate certain popular breakfast foods had a 47% higher rate of cognitive decline and a 60% increased risk of developing metabolic syndrome, the precursor to diabetes and heart disease. What you eat to break your fast is not just about feeling full. It is a direct instruction to your body on how to perform for the rest of the day and for the rest of your life. Today we are going to clear up the confusion once and for all. We will count down the 5 most dangerous breakfast foods you should never touch again, and then we will reveal the 5 powerful, life-extending foods you must start eating immediately. Before we begin, tell us in the comments now your age and where you're watching us from. We're reading and replying to every single comment. It helps us create content that is most useful for you. Let's start with the 5 foods that are silently damaging the health of our seniors. We're going to count down from number 5 to the absolute worst offender at number 1. Number 5. Sugary breakfast cereals and healthy granola. This one seems obvious, but the danger is hidden in plain sight, often disguised with clever marketing. We walk down the cereal aisle and see boxes decorated with images of wheat fields, smiling families, and claims like made with whole grains or good source of fiber. The reality is that most of these are nothing more than dessert in a box. The problem is twofold: the massive sugar load and the refined nature of the grains. When you eat a bowl of a typical frosted or sweetened cereal, you are sending a tidal wave of sugar into your bloodstream. Your pancreas has to work overtime, pumping out insulin to manage this sugar rush. For a younger person, this is already a strain. For someone over 60, whose insulin sensitivity may already be declining, this is like flooring the accelerator on an old engine. It causes a rapid spike in blood sugar, followed by a hard crash a couple of hours later. This crash is what leaves you feeling foggy, irritable, and craving more sugar mid-morning. It creates a vicious cycle of inflammation, which is the root cause of so many age-related diseases, from arthritis to heart disease. Let me tell you about George, a 72-year-old retired mailman I know. For years, his go-to breakfast was a popular bran flake cereal with raisins. He thought he was being incredibly healthy. It had bran in the name, after all. But he couldn't understand why, by 10:30 a.m. every morning, he felt a crushing fatigue. He'd try to do his crossword puzzle, and his mind would feel like it was wading through mud. He'd get irritable with his wife for no reason. We took a look at the nutrition label on his healthy cereal. A single serving, not the big bowl George was actually pouring, contained 19 grams of sugar. That's nearly 5 teaspoons of pure sugar. George was pouring himself at least 2 servings, so he was starting his day with 10 teaspoons of sugar before he even added milk. To put that in perspective, a regular chocolate-glazed donut has about 13 grams of sugar. George was eating the equivalent of a donut and a half for breakfast and calling it health food. The so-called healthy granolas are often even worse, baked with oils and syrups that turn them into high-calorie sugar bombs. We switched George to a breakfast we'll discuss later in this video, and within 2 weeks, his morning fog lifted. He had steady energy until lunchtime and was finally able to finish his crossword puzzle without feeling exhausted. So, the next time you reach for a cereal box, ignore the claims on the front and read the nutrition label on the back. If sugar is one of the first 3 ingredients, or if the total sugar content is more than 5 grams per serving, put the box back on the shelf. Your body will thank you. Number 4. Processed meats like bacon, sausage, and ham. The weekend tradition of a big breakfast with bacon or sausage links is deeply ingrained in our culture. It feels comforting and substantial, but the hard truth, confirmed by decades of research, is that these processed meats are one of the worst things you can put in your body, especially as you age. The World Health Organization classified processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen, meaning there is strong evidence that they cause cancer. They are in the same category as tobacco and asbestos. The primary culprits are nitrates and nitrites, preservatives used to cure the meat and give it that characteristic pink color and long shelf life. When cooked at high temperatures, these compounds can form nitrosamines, which are potent cancer-causing chemicals. Beyond the cancer risk, these meats are loaded with two other things that are particularly harmful for seniors: sodium and saturated fat. Let's talk about Brenda, a 68-year-old grandmother who loved making a big country breakfast for her family every Sunday. It was her way of showing love. But Brenda was struggling with high blood pressure. Her doctor had her on medication, but her numbers were still stubbornly high. She was cutting salt from her cooking, but she never considered her breakfast meats. A single sausage patty can contain over 400 milligrams of sodium. 3 strips of bacon can have over 500 milligrams. The American Heart Association recommends that adults, especially those with high blood pressure, aim for no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. Brenda was consuming a third of her entire day's sodium allowance before 9 a.m. That's like eating an entire medium bag of potato chips for breakfast. This massive influx of sodium forces your body to retain water, which increases the volume of blood in your bloodstream. This, in turn, raises your blood pressure, putting immense strain on your heart and arteries day after day, week after week. The high levels of saturated fat also contribute to raising bad LDL cholesterol, further clogging those same arteries. We helped Brenda find a new way to show love through food. She started making turkey or chicken sausages from scratch, where she could control the salt, and eventually transitioned to breakfasts centered around plants and eggs. Her blood pressure numbers finally started to come down, and she felt a sense of control over her health that she hadn't felt in years. If you must have these foods, think of them as a rare treat, not a daily or even weekly staple. Number 3. Bagels and white toast with cream cheese or margarine. This is a tough one for many people because it's simple, cheap, and fast. What could be more harmless than a bagel or a piece of toast? The problem lies in the type of carbohydrate you're eating. Bagels, white bread, and most commercially available pastries are made from highly refined white flour. This flour has been stripped of its bran and germ, which are the parts that contain all the fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What you're left with is pure starch, which your body digests almost as quickly as it digests pure sugar. This means it has a very high glycemic index. Think of the glycemic index as a measure of how quickly a food raises your blood sugar. Pure glucose is 100, a boiled potato is around 80. A typical white bagel has a glycemic index of 72. This is higher than a bowl of ice cream. So just like with the sugary cereal, you are setting yourself up for that same inflammatory spike and crash cycle. It provides a quick burst of energy, but it's fleeting and it leaves you hungry and craving more simple carbs soon after. Let me tell you about Arthur, a 79-year-old retired accountant from New York. For him, a toasted everything bagel with a thick smear of cream cheese was not just breakfast. It was part of his identity. He'd had one almost every day for 50 years. But Arthur was struggling. He had gained a stubborn 20 pounds around his middle. He felt constantly lethargic, and his doctor was warning him about prediabetes. He couldn't understand it. He wasn't eating candy or drinking soda. He was just eating his bagel. The bagel itself was a sugar spike machine, and the full-fat cream cheese he was slathering on it was adding a huge dose of saturated fat and calories with very little nutritional benefit. 2 tablespoons of cream cheese can have 10 grams of fat, most of it saturated. The margarine some people use is even worse, often containing unhealthy trans fats in its hydrogenated form, which are terrible for your heart. Arthur's simple breakfast was actually a perfect storm for weight gain and metabolic dysfunction. It was all empty calories and inflammatory ingredients. We challenged Arthur to switch his bagel for a high-fiber, whole-grain option for just 1 month. It was hard at first, but soon he noticed he wasn't hungry an hour after breakfast anymore. He felt lighter, and at his next checkup his blood sugar levels had improved. He hadn't realized how much his harmless habit was holding his health hostage. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far and finding this information helpful, please take a moment to hit that like button so more seniors can see it, and subscribe to our channel for more vital health tips just like this. It truly helps us reach and help more people. Number 2. Store-bought fruit juices and smoothies. This is perhaps the most deceptive health trap of all. We are taught from a young age that fruit is good for us, so fruit juice must be good for us too, right? Wrong. When you take a healthy piece of fruit, like an orange, and squeeze it into juice, you are performing a perfect act of nutritional sabotage. You throw away the single most important part, the fiber. The fiber in whole fruit is what slows down the absorption of its natural sugar, fructose. It acts like a brake, allowing the sugar to enter your bloodstream slowly and steadily. When you drink a glass of orange juice, you are consuming the sugar from about 4 to 5 oranges with none of the fiber. You are essentially drinking a glass of sugar water that will spike your blood sugar just as fast as a can of soda. A single 8-ounce glass of apple juice can contain 24 grams of sugar. That is 6 teaspoons of sugar. It's a direct hit to your liver and pancreas. Let's talk about Margaret, a 75-year-old who was very health conscious. She wanted to lose a few pounds and keep her energy up. So every morning, she would make a trip to the health food store and buy a beautiful, green-colored bottled smoothie. It said, all natural, and had pictures of kale and apples on the label. She thought she was doing the best thing for her body, but she wasn't losing weight and she felt hungry all the time. We looked at the label of her healthy smoothie. A single bottle contained a staggering 50 grams of sugar. That's more sugar than a 16-ounce bottle of Coca-Cola. It was coming from fruit juice concentrates and purees. Because it was liquid, her body absorbed it instantly. And because it had no significant protein or healthy fat, it did nothing to keep her full. She was drinking her entire day's worth of added sugar in 5 minutes. Liquid calories are particularly tricky for seniors because they don't register in the brain's satiety centers in the same way solid food does. You can drink 300 calories and not feel full at all, which leads to overeating later in the day. We taught Margaret how to make her own smoothie at home using whole fruits like berries, a handful of spinach, and a scoop of protein powder or Greek yogurt. The difference was night and day. She felt full for hours, the sugar content was a fraction of what it was before, and she finally started to see the health results she was looking for. Remember this simple rule: eat your fruit, don't drink it. And now for the number 1 most dangerous breakfast food you should avoid at all costs. Number 1. Pancakes, waffles, and French toast with syrup. This is the king of bad breakfasts. It is the perfect storm of everything we have already discussed, combined into one delicious, artery-clogging, energy-sapping meal. Let's break it down. The pancakes and waffles themselves are made from the same refined white flour as the bagels and white toast. They are nutrient-void, fiberless, and designed to turn into sugar in your body as quickly as possible. Then you drench them in what is essentially pure liquid sugar. Most commercial pancake syrups are not maple syrup at all. They are just high fructose corn syrup with artificial color and flavor. A tiny quarter-cup serving of this syrup contains over 50 grams of sugar. That is more than 12 teaspoons of sugar. This combination of refined carbohydrate and pure sugar is a direct assault on your metabolic health. It sends your blood sugar into the stratosphere, forcing a massive insulin release. Doing this repeatedly over time leads directly to insulin resistance, which is the gateway to type 2 diabetes, obesity, and a host of other chronic diseases. It's like pouring gasoline on the fire of inflammation in your body. Let me tell you about David. David had just turned 65 and retired from his job as a high school principal. To celebrate, he and his wife started a new tradition, a big pancake breakfast every morning. It felt like a well-deserved reward after a lifetime of work. But within 6 months, David had gained 15 pounds. His joints ached constantly, and his doctor gave him the shocking news that he was now pre-diabetic. His A1C levels, a measure of his average blood sugar, had jumped into a dangerous range. David was devastated. He was looking forward to an active retirement of travel and hiking, but he felt too tired and achy to do anything. His celebratory breakfast was actually fast-tracking him towards disease and disability. The constant inflammation from the sugar and refined flour was aggravating his arthritis, and the insulin resistance was making him store fat, especially around his belly. David's story is a powerful reminder that what we see as a comforting treat can have serious, long-term consequences, especially when it becomes a regular habit. There is no redeeming nutritional quality in a breakfast like this. It is a meal that actively works against your goal of a long, healthy and vibrant life after 60. Now that we know what to avoid, let's get to the good news. Let's build a better breakfast. Here are 5 powerful, delicious and life-enhancing foods that you absolutely must start eating. We'll count up from number 1 to number 5. Number 1. Oatmeal, specifically steel-cut or rolled oats. If there is one breakfast food that could be considered a true superfood for seniors, it is oatmeal. But not the instant kind in the little paper packets, which are often loaded with sugar and preservatives. I'm talking about old-fashioned rolled oats or steel-cut oats. The magic of oatmeal comes from a specific type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. Think of beta-glucan as a thick, gel-like sponge that moves through your digestive tract. This sponge does 2 amazing things. First, it slows down the digestion of carbohydrates, which means the energy is released slowly and steadily into your bloodstream. No sugar spike, no crash, just consistent, reliable energy to power your morning. This is why a bowl of oatmeal keeps you feeling full and satisfied for hours, unlike a bagel or a bowl of sugary cereal. Second, and this is crucial for heart health, that beta-glucan sponge binds to cholesterol in your gut and helps escort it out of your body before it can be absorbed. The Journal of Gerontology published a meta-analysis showing that consuming just 3 grams of beta-glucan per day, the amount in a single bowl of oatmeal, can lower bad LDL cholesterol by 5 to 10%. That is a powerful, drug-free way to protect your heart. Let me tell you about Eleanor, an 80-year-old who still tends her own large vegetable garden. Her secret: she starts every single day with a bowl of steel-cut oats. She cooks a big batch on Sunday to last her a few days. She adds a scoop of walnuts, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and a handful of fresh berries. That breakfast gives her the slow-burning fuel she needs to be out in the garden for hours, lifting, digging, and weeding. She doesn't experience the energy crashes that her friends complain about. For Eleanor, her oatmeal isn't just food. It's the foundation of her active and independent life. It's simple, it's affordable, and it's one of the most powerful tools you have for managing blood sugar, lowering cholesterol, and maintaining your energy. Number 2. Plain Greek yogurt. As we age, one of the biggest challenges we face is the loss of muscle mass and strength, a condition called sarcopenia. It can start as early as our 40s and accelerate significantly after 60. Sarcopenia is what leads to frailty, falls, and a loss of independence. The single most important nutrient to combat sarcopenia is protein. And plain Greek yogurt is a protein powerhouse. A standard serving of plain Greek yogurt can pack up to 17 grams of high-quality protein. To put that in perspective, 1 large egg has about 6 grams of protein. So you're getting the protein of nearly 3 eggs in 1 serving of yogurt. This protein provides the essential building blocks your body needs to repair and maintain muscle tissue. Let's talk about Robert, a 71-year-old retired firefighter who was frustrated because he was losing his strength. He used to be able to lift bags of soil for his wife's garden with ease, but now he was struggling. He felt weak. His doctor explained sarcopenia to him and emphasized the need for more protein, especially at breakfast, to stop the muscle breakdown that happens overnight. Robert started having a bowl of plain Greek yogurt every morning, mixed with some berries and a few almonds. He chose plain because the flavored varieties are often packed with as much sugar as ice cream. Within a few months, Robert noticed a real difference. He felt stronger. The bags of soil felt lighter. He had more stamina for his daily walks. The benefits of Greek yogurt don't stop at protein. It's also an excellent source of calcium, which is vital for maintaining bone density and preventing osteoporosis. Furthermore, it's rich in probiotics, the good bacteria that support a healthy gut. A healthy gut is linked to better digestion, a stronger immune system, and even improved mood. So, a simple bowl of plain Greek yogurt is a triple win for seniors. It protects your muscles, strengthens your bones, and supports your digestive health. Number 3. Eggs. For decades, eggs were unfairly villainized. We were told that the cholesterol in the yolk would clog our arteries and lead to heart disease. Thankfully, modern science has thoroughly debunked this myth. Numerous large-scale studies, including a major one from Harvard Medical School, have shown that for the vast majority of people, dietary cholesterol has very little impact on blood cholesterol. Our bodies are smart. If you eat more cholesterol, your liver simply produces less of it. So we can finally welcome eggs back to the breakfast table with open arms, and we absolutely should. Eggs are what nutritionists call a perfect protein. They contain all 9 essential amino acids in the right ratios, making them incredibly easy for our bodies to use for building muscle and other tissues. But the real magic of eggs for the aging population lies in the yolk. The yolk is a treasure trove of vital nutrients. One of the most important is choline. Choline is a nutrient that is absolutely essential for brain health. It's a key component of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that is critical for memory and cognitive function. Think of choline as the raw material your brain uses to build memory pathways. A deficiency in choline has been linked to poorer memory and a higher risk of cognitive decline. One large egg yolk provides about 150 milligrams of choline, which is a significant portion of your daily needs. Let's talk about Susan, a 74-year-old who is the president of her local book club. She started noticing she was having trouble recalling authors' names and plot points during discussions. It worried her. Her doctor, who was up to date on nutrition research, suggested she start eating 2 eggs for breakfast several times a week. The yolks also contain 2 powerful antioxidants called lutein and zeaxanthin. These antioxidants accumulate in the retina of your eye and act like internal sunglasses, filtering out harmful blue light and protecting your eyes from age-related macular degeneration and cataracts, 2 of the leading causes of vision loss in seniors. After making eggs a regular part of her diet, Susan felt sharper and more confident in her book club discussions. She was feeding her brain exactly what it needed to thrive. Number 4. Berries. If you are looking to add color, flavor, and a massive dose of brain-protective and heart-healthy compounds to your breakfast, look no further than berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, they are all nutritional superstars. Their deep, rich colors are a clue to their power. Those colors come from compounds called flavonoids, particularly anthocyanins. These are potent antioxidants. Think of antioxidants as your body's personal maintenance crew. Throughout our lives, our cells are under constant attack from unstable molecules called free radicals, which cause oxidative stress. This process is like rust forming on a car. It damages cells and contributes to aging and chronic diseases. Antioxidants neutralize these free radicals, protecting our cells from damage. The brain is particularly vulnerable to oxidative stress. A study published in the Annals of Neurology followed over 16,000 women over 70 and found that those who ate the most berries delayed cognitive aging by up to 2.5 years. The anthocyanins in berries have been shown to improve blood flow to the brain and enhance communication between brain cells, which can lead to better memory and sharper focus. Let's talk about Michael, a 69-year-old who was an avid chess player. He noticed his concentration waning during long matches. He started adding a full cup of mixed berries to his morning oatmeal or Greek yogurt. It wasn't an overnight miracle, but over several weeks he felt a subtle but clear improvement in his ability to focus and plan his moves. Beyond the brain benefits, berries are fantastic for blood sugar management. Despite their sweet taste, they are very low in sugar and incredibly high in fiber. A whole cup of raspberries has 8 grams of fiber and only 5 grams of sugar. This high fiber, low sugar profile means they have a very low impact on blood sugar, making them a perfect fruit choice for anyone concerned about diabetes. They are easy to use. Buy them fresh in season or frozen year-round, and they can be added to almost any healthy breakfast. Number 5. Nuts and seeds. The final piece of our perfect breakfast puzzle is a small but mighty one, a handful of nuts or a spoonful of seeds. Specifically, I want to focus on walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds. What makes these 3 so special is their incredibly high concentration of a type of omega-3 fatty acid called alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. Omega-3s are essential fats, meaning our bodies can't make them, and we must get them from our diet. They are famous for their powerful anti-inflammatory properties. As we've discussed, chronic inflammation is a driving force behind so many diseases of aging, from heart disease to arthritis. Incorporating these ALA-rich foods into your breakfast is a simple way to fight that inflammation first thing in the morning. Walnuts are unique among nuts for their high ALA content. Just a quarter cup of walnuts provides more than 100% of the daily recommended intake of ALA. They are also linked to better brain health. They literally look like little brains, which is a nice coincidence. Chia seeds and flax seeds are also ALA powerhouses. A single tablespoon of ground flaxseed can be easily stirred into oatmeal or yogurt. Let me tell you about Patricia, an 82-year-old who has managed her osteoarthritis for years without relying heavily on pain medication. She firmly believes that her diet plays a huge role. Every morning, without fail, she stirs a tablespoon of ground flaxseed into her yogurt. She says it helps to lubricate her joints. While it's not literal lubrication, the anti-inflammatory effect of the omega-3s is very real and can help reduce the pain and stiffness associated with arthritis. These nuts and seeds also provide a wonderful combination of healthy fats, fiber, and protein. This trio works together to slow digestion, promote satiety, and keep you feeling full and energized. They add a satisfying crunch and texture to your breakfast and ensure that you are getting the healthy fats that are crucial for absorbing vitamins and supporting overall cell function. A small handful is all you need to reap these incredible benefits. So there you have it. The path to a healthier morning and a more vibrant future is clear. It's about making a conscious choice to turn away from the convenient, processed, and sugary foods that drain your energy and accelerate aging. It's about embracing simple, whole foods that nourish your body, protect your brain, and build a foundation of strength and vitality for the years to come. To summarize, your breakfast mission is simple. Avoid the 5 dangerous foods, the sugary cereals, the processed meats, the refined bagels and toast, the sugar-laden juices and smoothies, and the disastrous pancakes with syrup. Instead, build your morning meal around the 5 must-eat power foods: the cholesterol-lowering oatmeal, the muscle-building Greek yogurt, the brain-boosting eggs, the antioxidant-rich berries, and the inflammation-fighting nuts and seeds. The choice you make tomorrow morning can be a powerful step towards a healthier you. Now, I have a question for you. Based on what you've learned today, what is one healthy change you will make to your breakfast tomorrow? Will you swap your cereal for oatmeal? Will you add a handful of berries to your yogurt? Share your commitment in the comments below. Reading your plans inspires our entire community. If you found this video valuable, please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our future health tips. Thank you for watching.